So the REOC is the Regional Investigative Operations Center, or really it's a command center full of video screens and technology and computers and staff that's there to help assign tasks and coordinate between all law enforcement agencies. It doesn't matter what patch you have on your sleeve. All of these resources are available to you. We're taking sources of information from all over the community. We're talking about traffic cameras, we're talking about drone feeds, we're talking about alarm systems from businesses or from houses. We're talking about tips from the public. You can use an app on your phone and send us a tip of a picture or a video of something that you want us to be aware of, and that will immediately go into the operations center. We're going to take all that information, we're going to send it out to the officers and the deputies that are responding to these incidents so that they can be as effective and efficient as possible providing that public safety.
It's going to be multi-jurisdictional. And this happens all the time. In today's world, nobody follows the lines in the map. Crimes occur over different jurisdictions. What this provides is the physical infrastructure, the technological infrastructure, even the methodological infrastructure to do a multi-jurisdictional, multi-agency investigation. Now, whether that's on a burglary pattern, whether that's on a violent carjacking pattern, whether that's on a missing abducted child, we have the ability to do that and collect all the information in a single place.
And all of this information is public knowledge. If you were to walk down the street, you're going to see the same information that we're talking about capturing. These are police blue light cameras that are up on the light poles. They're drone footage of overhead of public streets. They're traffic cameras on the expressway. All those sort of information that we capture is coming in from those type of sources. I can assure you that we're taking public information that already exists and we're bringing it into this operations center. Those traffic cameras, those dash cameras on the dash of a police car, your community cameras. We're also taking information that businesses, schools, and people voluntarily share with us. So we have the ability to take those things into this operations center and review it. So if a school wants to share their floor plans or their video screens, they can do that. But again, it's voluntary. Now, we do police work. Some of that police work is undercover. Some of that is video that's not of a public nature. But I can tell you that each and every time we do that, we follow the privacy laws, both the federal and the state privacy laws, and we seek that court order every time we need to do that. This is a temporary operations center set up just for the PGA. We have to rebuild these every single time we have a major investigation, a large public event, all this sort of stuff. We have to continuously rebuild this. What we're proposing is to build one permanently, keep it in place, and use it every single day.
So we brought together resources from our federal, state, and county partners to be able to strategically deploy UAS to ensure that we had eyes on any potential problems that arose, to be able to assess traffic situations, to determine if the personnel resource deployment was being done effectively, to be able to ensure the safety of the participants and spectators to the PGA.
So let's think back to the Buffalo snowstorm, that tragic snowstorm that took over 40 lives last year. That impacted a wide area of the community, and they had very little notice. They didn't have time to take 3 weeks or a month to establish an operations center. What we're proposing is getting a permanent facility in place that does this on a day-to-day basis. So when you get those tragic events, whether it's a crime spree, whether it's a snowstorm, whether it's active violence at a business, it doesn't matter. You have the resources at your fingertips and you can respond quickly. And the deputies, the officers, all those first responders in the streets, they have the tools and the information they need to make decisions.
Permanency would allow us to more efficiently deploy these assets and share the information, the intelligence that we're receiving. There's a significant delay involved in trying to get all of the various players in a given situation or response all on the same page in the same location.
All of this can be in place and these resources would be at our fingertips immediately. That's the real-time part of an operations center, is we're talking about immediate availability of these resources. This is not a new concept. The concept of a real-time operations center, information at your fingertips for those public safety personnel that are working in the streets. It's not new. We're using models that are being used successfully all over the country. We've done the research, we've talked to them, we've learned those lessons that they've gone through when they roll out a process like this. And one of the most important things that we learned, how valuable the participation of the public is. The sharing between law enforcement, sharing of information between law enforcement and the public sharing information with us. That's one of the biggest benefits of this operations center, is the ability to have someone dedicated to focusing on bridging that gap, sharing the information between the public and law enforcement, and then putting it to use to keep people safe. REOC, the Regional Investigative Operations Center, it really is a command post type environment for all of law enforcement to use in Monroe County. All of these resources are available to you, and the communication between law enforcement agencies, between the public, the local governments, the DPW, all of that can help be streamlined and more efficient by the use of this operations center.